Hello, my name is Grant Fritchey. I work for Redgate Software, and I have guests today. This is Kathi Kellenberger and Kendra Little, and we are at beautiful Redgate Towers. It is Christmas time, because that's why you see the tree in the background. That's not normal.
Can they see it? We always have a tree.
Well, there's this tree.
Yeah.
Anyway, wanted to bring you guys in and have a discussion. And the discussion we want to have today is about Slack.
Is it good? Is it terrible?
Or is it flipping evil?
I don't know what Grant's opinion on this is going to be. It's weird. I'm not sure how he feels. How do you feel about this, Grant?
Slack is flipping evil. No, it's like I like Slack. I like the idea of Slack. Mm-hmm. You know, the concept of like, oh, we can talk easily. You know, let's do that because communication is good. But not to throw anybody under the bus, but Redgate Software, the number of Slack channels that we have is greater than the number of people that we have. And so if I were to subscribe to all the Slack channels that I should subscribe to and read all the Slack channels that I should read, that's all I would do for my job. I would actually not write anything, record these silly videos, or do anything else in life. I would just be reading Slack all day long. And then, occasionally responding. No? Am I wrong?
Well, I am a big fan of Slack. And part of this is that because I work remotely, as all of us do, we all work at home, it's really, really hard for me to figure out, okay, what's going on with different product teams here. Now, it's true. I can't really keep up with all the product teams all the time, but that would still be the case if I worked in this office, right?
Yeah,
I would
need
to visit teams separately. But also, I can go search those Slack groups that are open for sharing. So if I want to know, has anyone given a link on how to do partial projects with SQL change automation, I have a hope of finding that. If we were just using email, I wouldn't be able to search other people's emails. And, I love the idea of intranets. We do have an intranet here that we use. It's good for certain things, but I think it kind of complements a chat-based solution. So yeah, it's absolutely imperfect, but I do love it for the ability it gives me to ask questions, connect with people, and search content, right? Cool. So I can actually meet people over that in a way that would be difficult otherwise. And I don't know about you, but I just haven't been a fan of the Skype chat for business. So yeah, it's not perfect, but I love it because it's better than everything else.
Right, true.
For what it is.
It's true.
Although,
one second.
So he's got a response.
Real quick. So it's really interesting because Kendra Little's wrong. That's the first time. No,
the first time.
I'm joking. That's
Not
a joke.
the first.
That's a joke. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm kind of leaning with Grant over here because I do like it just for our team. But it's like we go to a meet with one of the groups here, and they say, "Oh, join our Slack channel. Join our Slack channel." So now I've got all these Slack channels, and I'm just overwhelmed. And it's not just work. It's just not just here. It's also I've got 3 Slack channels going for the nonprofit that I teach at, and then theoretically I should be looking at Pluralsight Slack channel since I'm an author there, and there's other little projects, and they set up a Slack channel, and I can't look at all these.
Well, I'm on the SQL community Slack.
Well, it's there too, but I haven't been looking at it because when.
So I want to, even though these guys aren't
the biggest. And there's also a Tech Outbound Slack, and there's the past Slack, and I've got another Slack channel, another Slack subscription, and.
I want to plug the SQL community Slack.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if you are not overwhelmed by Slack, if you are not already in that boat, if you're overwhelmed by Slack, it may not be right for you. But if you want to chat with people who may have jobs similar to you, or if you want to learn what it's like to have a different job, or you just want to meet people who also work with the data platform, there is a free Slack for the SQL Server community that you can join, and it's not like you have to do it every day. I feel like it's easier to get to know people there than Twitter, and you can have more of a conversation. You can get help.
Well, they've got a SQL help. If you're like anti-Twitter and you don't want to use the SQL help hashtag on Twitter, there's SQL help inside the community Slack channel, which is pretty cool. And hey, not limited by 140 characters, or
Right.
whatever we're on.
Whatever
now.
it is now.
Yeah. And it grew up kind of organically. It was started by the folks who do free PowerShell tools, the DBA tools team, and they started a Slack just to, hey, let's build this.
Right.
And in fact, dbatools.io, I believe, is where you can get the free sign up. So if you want to sign up for the SQL community Slack, go to I bet Grant will put the link in the notes to the video.
I will. Yeah, there'll be in the stuff below. You'll see the link. So don't worry.
Yeah, and you can just get a free sign up, and if you don't like it, you can delete your account. But I think that's really a cool way beyond Twitter to really kind of get more in-depth connections with other people. And I wouldn't be surprised to learn that there are people who found jobs through that. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know of any cases yet. I should check.
Okay.
Right.
Not going on that limb,
It could
but
happen.
still, yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, there's I think over 1,000 members of it. So how
Wow.
could it not have happened? Is kind of my feeling
Yeah, no
there.
kidding. And they talk about all kinds of stuff, SQL Saturdays, just a whole bunch of things. So I mean, it's useful. It
Yeah.
really is. Slack could be useful. It's just I think Slack is mismanaged.
So we came around from Slack is evil to Slack can be useful. It was that was an evolution right there, right? I kind of feel like it did
still
something there.
Okay, well, any closing thoughts on Slack?
Well, what would you like to see different about Slack? Is there anything and it doesn't have to be that particular product, but is there something about this that could solve some of the pains you have that either could happen in that product or another product to just make it a little bit more focused?
Well, I mean, I love the concept of Slack, right? When I first got into it, it was like, well, how's this different from user groups, or Usenet or something else? And to a degree, it's not really, but it gives you this, nice, simple, clean interface as a way to communicate, and it does retain stuff so you can search it. I mean, so it's got a lot of pluses. I think that like just about anything else, atomic explosions, right? It can be misused.
Right.
Atomic power, yes. Atomic bombs, no. So Slack, right now I still see it as an atomic bomb, as opposed to atomic power.
And I think if there's just more discipline in it, for example, like the ones I have for the nonprofit where I teach, that would be really great if they stuck to the topic instead
Right.
of putting cat pictures and talking about, my daughter's selling Girl Scout cookies and all this junk. If they stuck to the topic, I would be interested in looking at it. I want to know when someone has a question about SQL. That's what I want to know.
Right.
I might be a little guilty of that, but we do have a specific channel here at Redgate for dog pictures, so I do
Really?
spend some time in that
Again.
channel. It helps keep the other channels a little
Right.
focused.
God, I got to go
Right.
subscribe to that Slack channel.
I think these are actually, as these assistant type things get smarter and smarter, I think this is a big opportunity for those, because what I really want to know is, hey, here's tell the assistant, here's the areas I'm really interested in. If
Right.
there's something that's going to be interesting to me, let me know about that. Or if there's something that needs response from me, let me know about that.
Yes.
Not just these mentions and stuff like that.
Sure.
And be able to perform searches
Every
that
time
way.
somebody puts in @channel, it's like now there's new red things in front of me. It's just like,
Yeah.
no.
So if the legend of these
yes.
assistants becomes better and better, I think that could dramatically improve these, but we'll see.
Right, yeah. Cool.
So,
All right, well, that's
Thanks.
it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on my show.
Thanks
you.
for inviting
It was
us.
fun.
This was really fun.
Yep, cool. See ya.
Bye,
My
folks.
name is Grant Fritchey, over for Redgate Software. Please, 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 please subscribe.